All right, welcome back to episode number 92 of the Idols to Rivals podcast. I'm joined again by Jonathan Luciano.
How's it going?
If this is your first time listening, this is a podcast we upload to everything: Spotify, Apple Music. I'm pretty sure Audible has podcasts now. I think we're on there as well, Google Play. Like I said, uploaded every Wednesday, and pretty much just shoot the shit and go over, week recap, sports, life, everything like that. So if this is your first time listening, make sure you give it a follow, and we'll just get after it. So we'll start with NHL. Yesterday was not the best game for the Rangers.
Nah, but I will say they looked the same as, and I even said it on the GameCast. Like in Carolina, they lost, I believe, game 5, and then stormed back to win the next 2 games. Plus, next game's in MSG, so I don't think they're gonna lose there. And then they still got 2 games left to MSG, 2 games to win. I think they will get it unless Vasi just goes off, but we'll see.
They just didn't look put together. They were missing. It looked like, honestly, the people that were passing it and the people that were catching it had no idea that they were getting the puck, because it would hit their stick and then pop like 2 feet away, and then just ruin whatever fast break or shot that they had. And not to mention, they didn't put a single shot on goal for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, nothing was really close. I mean, they didn't really even have any close shots, I thought, from what I remember.
Yeah, they were just, it seemed like they were just flying way over it, not even, hitting him or anything like that. They did get that one at the very end, so they prevented a
Oh,
shutout, because
right. Yeah.
4-0 would have been garbage. 4-0 is not what you want to do when you're in the what is it? What, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, East.
East, yeah. That would not be a great way to start it. But the Edmonton game the other day, if anybody watched that, was nuts. I for some reason, it was just my luck. Even yesterday, every time I would get up to get a water or something like that, or move around, I would turn around or check my phone as soon as they would score. And so the Edmonton game, I think, was like 6-5 at the end, or 5-4, went to overtime. Amazing. I started watching at 3-1, but every time I got a text or had to go get something or went downstairs to get a package, it was like there was 2 or 3 goals scored and I missed every single one, but yet I watched almost the entire game. So it's been my luck with NHL recently. Fortunately, I don't really care about the teams rooting for anybody but Tampa Bay at this point.
Yeah, I think the Avs are. I mean, they just swept, so they're obviously pretty legit. But we'll see if they're rusty.
Back-to-back
Because,
sweeps. They swept both.
did they really?
Yeah, that's what they said last night.
Yeah, so we'll see if they're rusty because this Eastern game could go to 7 easily. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that play a factor? Is if they were? I feel like that wouldn't help them, be recovered or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's what happened with the Lightning here. They swept the Panthers, and the Rangers had a ton of momentum after a Game 7 win and won the first 2 games pretty handily. They won the first game 6-2.
So okay, so it was Rangers 1-2, and then now Tampa Bay 1-2.
Yeah, so it's 3 games to go.
All right, well, it's about to be popping off.
Yes, sir. And then Game 3 tonight in Boston, baby.
Is it in Boston?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Fake.
Actually, that makes sense. I think Portnoy said he was going to be on the wood for that one. I am hoping, again, I just want this to be on record, I hate Golden State, but I hate every Boston/Massachusetts team more. So I have to go with Golden State, even though I hate Draymond Green. He's the most annoying NBA player on the planet Earth, and the fans suck. But I just cannot root for the Celtics.
Yeah, I can't root for Steph Curry. I can't root for that team at all. I hate all of them. I don't think I like a single player or coach on Golden
You
State.
seem like you'd be a Clay guy. You have that face.
Nah, he's a crybaby, bro. Everyone's like, "Oh, dude, all he does is play." Bro, the guy cries, dude. Fuck that guy.
Is he Clay, really?
Yeah.
I thought Draymond and Steph were kind of the ones that would just whine about every single thing.
Yeah, well, they whine so much it makes Clay look like not as much of a whiner. Like if he was on another team, he'd be like called a little softy. So
it's so weird that the last like who would have thought that these 8 years or 6 years, whatever it is, would be dominated by the Golden State Warriors. I didn't know. I had never even heard the term Golden State Warriors, and I think I was a senior in high school or maybe a junior in high school whenever they started popping off. I didn't even know it was a team, and now they're like running a dynasty.
Yeah, I mean they just changed the game with the shooting and shit like that. I think I mean, everything comes full circle. So once the centers come back, I mean, even if they're still dominant, that will kind of wean them out of the league, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, they just changed the game, revolutionary. As much as I hate to say it, they sure did.
Yeah, and Steph Curry was what? He was not supposed to be. He was not a high round pick. He was not. I mean, he's the son of an
No.
NBA player, but he came out of nowhere, from what I understand.
Yeah, he balled out his junior year in the March Madness. I actually saw a couple of his games live.
He
I was
wasn't
like, oh,
UNLV, was he? What was his? Where did he go?
he was at Davidson.
Davidson. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think he dropped like 40 or 50 one game on Georgetown, and then I think his senior year he like rolled it, like broke his ankle or some shit like that. So he was, I think, a second rounder.
Yeah, but then didn't he? Wasn't he? It was like his 5 years in the league or 6 years in the league is whenever he started really popping off and started being, the three god that he is right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was like a nobody for a while. Like
Yeah,
he,
just kind
yeah,
of just kind of played his position, and then now he just started draining threes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they all have great chemistry too on the team because they're all drafted together. So they did it right, but I don't like them anyway.
I just can't see Boston / Massachusetts get another championship. It's every fucking year was something. Especially
Yeah,
growing up was the worst because I had a buddy who I grew up with who it was just like every fucking year he would have like, Red Sox win it. Patriots
yeah,
obviously won a shit ton. The Bruins won, I think, 2 or
Bruins.
3,
Yeah,
and then Celtics won a couple or one of them. And it was just like for like 13 years, it was like there was a parade. And
yeah,
that like it's not fair. It's not fair at all. So I cannot contribute to another one of those.
yeah. I mean, no more Brady, so I think that shit is gonna end. I mean, I don't know if the Celtics are gonna last a while, but
They seem
yeah,
super
we'll
young,
see.
except for like Al Horford, obviously.
Yeah, they're young. They are, but like, who knows? Anything can happen.
That is
Um,
true. That is true.
it would be
But
pretty sick.
another thing that we talked about a little bit this weekend was the which I wrote down best athlete out of ranked the 4, like the most athletic to least athletic player. How I'm fucking this up. If you were in a scenario where you needed the most athletic person, are you picking someone, NBA, NHL, NFL, or MLB? So rank from 1 to 4, most athletic league to least athletic league.
NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB. I think it's pretty. Like, I don't like. I think a lot of NBA guys could play pretty much any one of those sports.
Oh, I think NBA players, MLB is 4 for sure. There's
Yeah,
no questions asked. They have people. If you can dip and wear sunglasses and fucking be 400 pounds and still hit dingers, then I mean it goes to show. My thing is with NHL. I'm quickly thinking, what do you think? Who do you think has better conditioning, NFL or NHL?
depends on the position, really. I mean, I don't know, dude, because NHL players are only on ice for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Per clip.
Right, but then I mean they come on multiple times. That's my thing is that 2-minute argument is what I think is even crazier because I mean what NFL is, let's say 10-minute drives, a long drive, but you're doing 10-second sprints at a time.
Yeah, yeah, true. But I mean, I don't know, dude. You got a guy like running a fucking kickback, 100
That's
yards,
true.
possibly 109 yards. And you got the whole, I mean, even if you had that Derrick Henry rush, you got the whole fucking um like line running 99 yards. You got guys like your boy DK Metcalf chasing down Buda Baker. Um, I don't know if the NHL guys can do that. I'm sure they could, but I mean, it would be tough to see.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And I mean, I feel like skating, you cover more like it's not like soccer where you're just
Yeah,
like back and forth running.
yeah,
Skating, you get a little more leeway once you get some
you can
speed. You
collide.
just
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think you're right on that. NBA, obviously, I mean, you can't compete with 6'8", 6'10" guys
right.
that can fucking jump and dunk on 12-foot rims or whatever we saw in that highlight reel.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB would just be if I was having a gauntlet of if I need the most athletic person possible.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Who do you think is who do you think parties the most out of those guys?
It's probably shit. This is tough because what's his name? Buddy just posted the lean and the joint on his Snapchat story. Did you see that?
Who?
Some God, what was his name? I'll look it up right now. Some NBA player posted on his Snapchat story late night a cup of purple drank and a J.
I did not see
It
that. That's
it
NBA
was.
guys probably go crazy. I feel like, dude, it's got to be NHL, bro. Like the fucking
I think so
Russians and
too, but
shit.
at the same time, I don't think NHL has that money. And also, if we're thinking just pure volume, like if you're competing with a 7-footer, they're gonna drink like 4 bottles and then be buzzed, and then you're ripping 20 shots and you're fucking hammered.
Yeah, I think it's NHL still. I don't give a like money doesn't matter, dude. Like you could have, a guy who makes 100K. You could have a guy who makes a million. The guy who makes a million could go to a club and buy a table and drink like a fucking glass of champagne or whatever. Whereas like
That
a
is true.
$100,000 guy will just face like a fucking plastic bottle of vodka.
I feel like NFL, I think, has calmed down. I bet you in the 80s and 90s, and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
probably even earlier than that. I bet you, obviously, we know the stories about Hollywood Joe Namath being like fucked up in the AFC Championship and saying that he's going to
yeah,
win
yeah,
it
yeah.
and then wins it. I think NFL used to party, but NFL is kind of a communist regime at the moment. So
Sure is.
yeah, I think hockey guys are more of like drinking beers with the boys and just going out.
Yeah,
I think if you're
yeah.
talking about like straight flexing and buying clubs out in 1942 and shit like that, I think NBA's probably got it by a mile.
I don't know, man. I mean, if you look at this, like watching hockey, dude. They have that Jaeger commercial with Post Malone. They got those Pink
That is
Whitney
true.
commercials, and
They
like
do
Lou
embrace it. That's what I'm
Amsterdam.
saying. Hockey
Yeah,
culture embrace it. That's what hockey's always been fighting, drinking, stuff like
right.
that. So that's been part of their culture. But that's what I'm saying is I don't see them going to live and then buying, spending 50 racks on a table and just getting to. I could be completely wrong. I want to be wrong. But I feel like NBA is all about throwing your money. You got the biggest chains, you got the wildest cars, you got all of this stuff. I think that's more NBA in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah, it's more flashy, but I don't. I wouldn't say that's like partying. Like, I think partying is like per player who gets the most fucked up.
Who do you think is the biggest party animal in sports right now?
Um, wow, I don't know.
There hasn't been any like wild boy shit. Like hasn't been like a Plaxico Burris. There hasn't been a Pac-Man Jones in a while. Like there hasn't been somebody like going out and just doing
Yeah,
stupid shit like that.
probably James Harden, dude. I feel like he
I've
has
heard
always.
so many stories about James Harden.
Yeah, he's just like he'll lose like a conference finals and be at a strip club till like 5 a.m. Like doesn't give a fuck.
I wonder what it's like when they walk in and they're just like, "Yeah, I'm here to spend $70,000."
Yeah, and they're like, I just lost. My
Yeah,
season's
and
my
they're just like,
season's
you know what,
over.
dude?
I
They
don't have
probably
to
don't even like.
practice.
That's what I was thinking about the other day was like, oh, why do these people, like Tyreek Hill, why did you leave potentially winning a couple more rings with the Chiefs to go to the Dolphins, which I'm glad he's here, but it's like well, don't you love the game? But it's like, dude, the more I think about it, if I'm getting $70 million and I've been playing this game for eons at this point, my entire life, I don't know if I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll take way less and then win a couple rings and then I don't know. I think that it's really easy, a lot easier than I thought originally, and that I think a lot of people think to kind of give up the just like the honor of the game when a
Right.
fat paycheck comes in.
Yeah. And I think unless you're like the fucking like Tyreek Hill is never gonna be considered the GOAT of the NFL. Like
Right.
he's won a ring, like he's like, fuck, I'll make my money and live in Miami now. But if you're like Mahomes or who has potential to be one of the greatest ever, or guys like that, I think you definitely kind of want to stay where you're at and win as many rings as possible, and then like live your life or whatever.
Well, not to mention, I mean, Mahomes got what, half a bill?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But I mean, like, it's Kansas City still. It's not like it's like
Right. It is true.
LA.
Yeah, I get it. I was always so like, oh my God, these sellouts. And I'm just like, honestly, it's
Yeah,
like
make your money.
make your money and I obviously Kansas City compared to Miami, I can't even imagine what the difference would be. But I get it now more that it's just like, yeah, I'm still having fun playing the game, but like James Harden going after an Eastern Conference Finals, it's like, yeah, it sucks that we lost, but I'm still paid. We have
Yeah,
generational wealth, and I'm just gonna party my ass off and have fun in a cool city.
yeah. You also have to respect that too, dude. Like, whatever. It is what it is. It's in the past now. Let's party. That's like, dude, like that's like sometimes like just getting like super hangover anxiety. You kind of just gotta like push through it and just be like, it happened, but I'm sure somebody else fucked up a little bit harder than me. Plus, like
Yeah,
in reality, what you did, nothing. It's like weird. You were hammered and fucking threw up on a girl. Like, okay, cool. She's not gonna like you, but like, who gives a fuck?
right. And I think that comes with age and all that. And especially I'm sure he's won like, I don't know if he's won MVP or anything like that, but he's been solid for a really long time. I think it's
Yeah,
just kind of like, he's like, yeah, I mean, I've been playing in the NBA specifically forever. And it's like,
right,
you're going to lose, you're going to win. It is, you can detach from it rather than when you're younger. And it's just like every loss is like fucking tears your
right,
heart out.
right, right. Yeah, I guess so. It's like yeah, I guess like as you're like, I've done worse. You know what I mean? Or like I've played worse, whatever it
Right.
is.
Not to mention you're probably surrounded by gorgeous people and you have more money than God to just spend, which
Yeah,
is
it
insane.
must. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely nuts. You want to hear a funny story just before we get into this next? Actually, this will probably lead pretty well into this next segment. So I saw you at the gym earlier today,
Right,
and so I was wearing my like over ear headphones. If you're watching on the YouTube version of it, you can see I'm wearing these little Beats workout earbuds. And so I was wearing the full set, the full rig, which I've been doing recently because I think it's way better to be completely isolated. And I think it helps with lifting and running specifically, where
right,
it's like you don't hear a thing except your mind just being like, you got to keep fucking going.
right.
And anyway, neither here nor there. So I'm sitting there and I'm walking out and I was trying to finish up like an audio book because, I'm just trying to get super fucking smart. And headset disconnects. They're a little bit older, but headset disconnects. And I'm like, shit, okay, so let me turn these off and turn them back on and see if that works while I go get my I had a couple packages. And of course, there's just like the sweet old lady, sweet older man just standing there in the elevator. And they're like, oh, they're chatting. They're like, oh, you live here, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we started talking. And she's like, are those Beats? And I'm thinking like, oh, she wants to get some technology advice. You know how older
Right.
people are like, oh yeah, do you like those? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, well, they're trying to connect to my phone. And she
What?
flips up her phone. And so the only reason that this was just super embarrassing was in high school, I had, or probably even past high school, you know how you can name yourself in Siri?
Yeah, yeah,
So of course mine was Daddy for the longest time, just because
yeah.
it was hilarious and it's my thing. And I had like everything else, I had pretty much renamed my AirPods, these things. And of course, it's just, I don't know if she read it, but I did. She flips it around and it said Daddy's like Beats Pro 3s or Beats Studios 3s are trying to connect. And I was like, oh, and we just started the elevator ride. So we had like at least a minute left. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like trying to fucking turn the headset off while we're doing this. And I could see it on her phone as we're going down the
Yeah.
whole elevator ride. I was like, oh, well, you guys have a good one. Enjoy Fort Lauderdale. And then I fucking ran
Fuck 'em.
out and got my pack. I was like, wow, that's awesome that just happened.
Should be like, nah, those aren't mine. I don't know who those are. Probably
Yeah, except it shows a big, huge over ear black pair of Beats headphones. And that's literally what's on my head as I'm talking to.
you could have been like, yeah, I don't know, Daddy.
Yeah, I don't know who's that. Could have been the other guy that was just walking past.
Yeah, I would be like, nah, not mine.
Yeah. I mean, we wrote it out. I think I
Fuck it.
covered it up pretty well. I didn't say a
Yeah.
word. I was just smiling and just like, yeah, have fun.
Hey, have a good time in Lauderdale.
Yeah, hey, have a good time in Lauderdale. I'm gonna go jump off my fucking balcony real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, dude, you just gotta embrace the cringe.
You do got it.
Just
That's a perfect
wallow
way to
in it.
put it. Embrace the cringe.
Yeah. Just sit there. Be like, all right.
Speaking of embracing the cringe, so this was your idea here before we started. So we have a couple stories each lined up about either us or not us. We'll just I mean, I'll probably say that mine are whoever they are. But yeah, do you want to lead us off with just an absolute story to make people feel better about their lives?
Yeah, of course, of course. I was this is my first time I went out to like a New Year's party. I was 18. I was like home from college freshman year. And I hit up like one of my boys I was friends with in high school, but like, you know, those friends you have that you hang out with in high school, but like not outside of school. So it's like a
Yep.
little weird. So I hit him up. I had nobody else really like home or whatever. So I text him and he's like, yeah, dude, like I got my boys coming over and we're going to a party. Like, come through if you want. So I was like, all right, cool. So I go there. I meet his two other friends and who ended up actually being like my boys as well. And so we go to this first party, dude, and it's like there's so many people there, bro. It,
Oh, you're breaking up a
dude
bit.
just
I don't know
smoking
what you did.
blunts on the
Oh no, let's see.
in December, right? So it's
Wait,
like
can you hear me? You're
so then we
disconnecting a
go
little bit.
inside and the girls. Oh yeah, how much did you hear?
I heard massive party. You were going inside. I don't know if you moved from your router or what you just did, but you were frozen a little bit. You're still absolutely frozen, which is hilarious.
All
All
right,
right,
good to me
talk.
now. That was weird.
I think
All right, you
so.
hearing
Let
me?
me. I can hear you, yeah, but your face is frozen.
All right, whatever. I'll just tell the story. Continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, what was the last part you heard?
You walked up. You said it was like the first time you were really going out. A couple of friends, one you didn't really fuck or hang out with, and then a couple of the ones that became your boys, and you walked up to this party. Now he's completely frozen. Gotta love it. I think this is the first on the podcast, actually. Just an absolute freeze fest. There we go. Wait a minute. I think we got you back.
All right, sweet, sweet. All right, I was about to text you.
All right, there we
Okay.
go.
All right. Recalibrate. So yeah, so when we pull up to this party, dudes, people in Jersey, bro, are fucking nuts, bro. Like we're in North Jersey in late fucking December, so it's like 10, maybe 10 degrees out, and these
Oh,
motherfuckers are
fuck
smoking
that.
blunts and cigs and shit outside, like in just t-shirts, dude, and out and like also like when I would smoke in college, dude, I'd like go in the woods and like hide and shit. Like it wasn't like this open, so I'd
These
be like,
guys
oh,
are on
what
the
the
front
fuck?
porch.
Yeah, so we walk in and it's like this big ass fucking party, and this chick who's partied is fucking fucked up, dude. And so her friends telling her like, "Yo, have some water," blah blah blah, and she starts raging, and like they start like yelling at each other, and the party gets into like this big ass circle, and it's just them in the fucking middle while they're
Oh
fucking
god.
like beefing, and the girl goes to swing her friend and like misses and slips, and she's a bigger girl, and just like hits the fucking ground and is fucking out cold. So
And this
everyone
is
was
this is the girl whose party it is,
it's
or the
her
one that the
house.
friend? Oh
It's her
god.
house. So everyone's like, okay, what the fuck? So we all go back partying or whatever. It's me and three other guys. And so all of a sudden, dude, we look outside and there's like ambulances, cops and shit. So we don't want to be a part of any of that shit, obviously. So we fucking dip. We go to this next party, right? And we pull up and there's like three dudes already there who they know, I guess, who like ended up being in my friend group. I never fucking liked them because they kind of sucked. So we go into this other girl's party, right? And it's probably like 11 yet. Ball didn't drop yet. It's still 2014, not 2015 yet.
God,
And yeah,
2014.
bro.
Fuck.
And we get in, dude, and it's all chicks, all like smokes, dude, like all rockets. And I
So
was
you
like, fuck.
walked into fucking Candyland.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, right? So like I'm drinking and I'm getting fucked up and I'm like browning in and out, like blacking in and out. And I think I smoked because I remember I'm sitting on this couch, right? and it's me, my boy who invited me out, his boy, and we're watching some shit on TV, like the Christmas trees over here because it's still December, and they got like other shit going on. And but behind the couch is the like party. Everyone's like drinking and like partying and shit. And it's like an open house kind of, right? So the first thing I remember when I black back in or brown back in or whatever is this kid next to me. I'm sitting in the middle of the couch. Kid next to me like gets up and like smacks my knee, and he's like, "Hey, dude, you want some water?" And I was like fucked up, and I don't even think I said anything to him. And I just like, he's not out of his chair like 3 seconds, and I throw up all over this chick's couch, like right there, right? And my boy next to me is like, "Yo, get up, get up, get up," because no one saw me throw up. So like, I could have
So you're
stood
just
up.
like, you're gonna blame it on somebody else?
Yeah, I could have stood up and like meandered onto the kitchen and just fucking got water. But I don't know why. Like in my head, he said it with such urgency that I was like, I need to fucking like run away from the situation, right?
Tell me you like hit the door, or like slipped or something.
Yeah, dude. So I stand up and I'm like, I need to peel out of here. But I stand up, dude, and I feel like I just stepped out of a gravitron. Like I have no balance, I have nothing, dude. And so I fucking start running, bro, and I like book it right into this chick's Christmas tree, dude. And it rips out the cord and shorts like the fucking house. Like music stops, TV stops, and I go down and I like shatter all this girl's like ornaments and shit. There's like glass and shit all over me. There's like pine needles all in my hair. It's
It was a
everywhere.
real tree?
It was a real tree, yeah.
Oh my
And I have like sap on my arms and cut up everywhere. And so and I'm just laying there. And what happened is like I cornered it and there was a chair there. So I couldn't stand up. Like it was just my legs. Like all you could see was like my legs and my ass just like in this fucking tree. So my boy moves the chair away and I get up. I don't think I said a word to anybody and I just walked out with him. And I was like, oh, dude, like that was fucked. Like I'll probably never see them again anyway, but that was pretty fucked. And then like summer comes and I hit him up again and I'm like, yo, dude, like what's up? So I go to his house and it's like literally everyone who's at that party is at his house and like was like, dude, oh, dude, you're gonna run into this tree over here, bro. And like, I don't think I lived it down for like 8 years, but it was a funny
Hey, at
story.
least and this was, how old were you when this happened?
18.
Okay, so you were like a freshman.
Yeah.
Dude, that's classic freshman stuff.
Yeah, dude. It was just hey man.
Did you ever see the squad of girls again besides that one party? Like, did you hang out with them or was it like kind of surface level?
Yeah, I never really like got to know them just because like I just didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't even know who's. I don't think I even apologized. Like I didn't know whose house it was. Like I was just like, I'm just gonna act like it never
Well, you're
happened.
just full like bullet mode. You're like, I'm in a bad spot and I need to get out of here now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was a pretty good time. I mean, I know you probably have some good stories too, like fucking getting fucked up.
Yeah. No, I've drank a couple times in my day. And just off the rip, and we'll continue to do these as we go on here in these next episodes. But I was telling this story. This is just why it's at the top of my mind. I was telling this story to somebody this weekend, and so freshman year of college, so not quite as old as you. So I think this was 2015, probably. Yeah, so a
You
year
call me
later.
old, bro?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying. So 2015, I'm a new boy. I'm a pledge at Texas Tech, and so I loved all my fraternity brothers, everything like that. I ended up transferring to Alabama, as everybody knows, and so loved all the boys. It was a super good time. It was just really small, really tiny, um, and we had a good pledge class. A lot of them ended up dropping, and it just didn't work out very well. But the very beginning, right after I had, and we'll go through the bid story on some other podcasts, but right after all that had started, I was the last one in the pledge class, getting everything going, like trying to meet people, trying to get everybody ready. And so I made friends with a couple of the actives there, which is always key if you're rushing or looking to join a fraternity. Get at least one
Right,
or two actives that really fuck with you, and
right.
it'll make you like, you'll still get shit on, but it'll help things out. But so I forget we were throwing like a kegger. Keggers are super big at Texas Tech. I don't know if they were like where you were at Alabama. They're really not keggers because you're at a fraternity house, and these were mostly house parties. And so this was, I mean, first real college party, not even compared to what they threw later on, the fraternity I was in. This was one of the bigger ones. This was massive. And we're all screwing around. I think we were in like pledge gear, like blue blazers, red ties, like all that stuff. I think we had to wear that, or every couple new boys had to wear them. But
Mhm.
we're sitting there and I'm talking to one of the actives that I like, and he's like, I'm mangled because I'm just like, oh, there's smoke shows everywhere. I think it was a
Yeah.
Jersey party. The last thing I remember was it was a Jersey party. And we were talking, and they bring out like a karaoke machine. And
Mhm.
so we're all screwing around talking about the karaoke machine. This is in the front of the house. So this is where all the boys are kind of hanging out. Some of the my fraternity or my pledge classes there, some of the actives there, really just chilling, smoking cigarettes, dipping, all that good stuff, just kind of hanging out, drinking beer. In the back is where all the shit goes down. And so backyard was packed from front to back.
Right.
Texas Tech, Lubbock is the flattest place on earth. So it's just the backyards go on forever. It's like a football field, really narrow. And so this was to the wall, like front to back to the wall. And I think I had like either screwed up that week or said something, but he's like, okay, well, now you're gonna go sing. Wait till I get just hammered. And like, okay, you're gonna go sing karaoke in front of everybody. And
Right.
I knew there was a lot of people. I didn't realize how much there was.
Right.
But I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm drunk, like I'm feeling this. Like maybe I'll impress somebody, and find the love of my life, which was not going to happen. And so I stand up from the couch and I'm like, okay, like kind of like, all right, well, I'm a little more hammered than I thought I was originally. And they're just like, I'm wheeling this like speaker out and a microphone in my hand. And I'm like, okay, what song are we gonna do karaoke? And they wait till I'm on the deck, like the little deck that you go down like 4 or 5 stairs. So I'm,
Yeah.
spotlights on. And they wait till the very last moment. They start playing a song and then they just cut it like 2 seconds in. I was like, oh, did the speaker mess up? Whatever. They're like, no, you're gonna freestyle. And I was like, oh,
Oh, no
dude.
way, dude.
I was like, I just looked at them and I was just like, dude, please, not right now. Like, I've been in college a week. Like, please don't do this. And they're like, no, you're going to do it. And I can't remember quite because just try to block it. I can't remember if like either somebody gave me a beat or if it was just pure silence.
Pure acapella.
But I remember it felt like half an hour, but it was probably a minute and a half. And I'm just just literally trying to rhyme sentences. And I remember vividly. I did a couple scans and then I put my head down. I was like, do. It sounds horrible. I know it sounds horrible. So much
Yeah.
to the point where it almost sobered me up. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just remember I looked out and there was this girl wearing this, gorgeous girl wearing this God, it was a yellow basketball jersey. It might have been a Lakers jersey or something like that. But I just remember making eye contact with her. And I was just so embarrassed. I like dropped the mic. I run to the front yard and I'm just like, dude, fuck this. I call one of my pledge brothers to pick me up and I was like, dude, take me back to the dorms. I just embarrassed myself. And so I waited like a month and a half to go back because they threw parties there like every Thursday or Friday. It was one of those, then we'd rotate. But yeah, I don't know if I ever met any of those people ever again besides people in my fraternity, but I have never felt more embarrassed in my life, and I was blackout drunk. I didn't even know you could feel embarrassed when you're
Yeah,
hammered,
dude.
and it pierced through my soul. I remember looking out on that crowd, and it was just this is and the worst thing is I left too. Like that probably everyone's like, look at
Yeah.
that bitch just running away. Worst thing, embarrassed myself, and I'm like, wow, what a great start to college, just looking like an absolute bitch. And I
Damn.
can't freestyle, which is awesome to hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, I have no freestyle skill. Like that
No.
would I would go up there and just be like fucking like red fish, blue fish, like Dr. Seuss, dude. I wouldn't even know what I would have said.
I can't
That's
imagine what I said. I
terrible.
hope there's no video of it, but I don't even know what I could have possibly tried to say. But I just remember it going so bad. And it wasn't even people were laughing, it was just silence, which was where I'd rather have people cracking up and making noise. But it was like they turned the music off and it's just like, hey, everybody, look right here. And it was just like, shit.
Yeah, that's like when music goes off, like everyone stops dead in their
Yeah,
tracks and they're
snaps
like,
their head
"What?
to the
What's
side.
going on here?" Yeah. Even when someone stands up on a stage, like a couple people will notice, but like when music goes off, it's like you've got literally all eyes on you, just ready. What's going on here?
Yeah, music stops or you hear cops. Like, oh, those are the two things where it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what's going on. Everyone is just snapping their neck looking for what's going on.
Yeah, it's the same as like lights going on. Just like
Yeah, lights going on, not a good sign. Any real change, any vibe change abruptly, normally not a good thing's happening. Like it's never like music
no.
stopped, like, hey, we got, we just got free beer. It's like music's off, lights on, get the fuck out right now
Yeah,
and don't use the
yeah,
front door.
yeah, dude. Yeah, any vibe change. Even like you could even go from like fucking Skrillex to fucking like I don't even know some opera shit, and people would probably still vibe compared to
Oh
like
yeah.
lights
Oh
going
yeah.
off.
They'll like twinge and be like, okay, what's this? And then, dude, whenever the party's going long enough, people are just rolling with the
Just don't
punches.
give a
Like
fuck.
people have put
Yeah,
on some whack ass shit before,
yeah,
and people are like, oh yeah, this actually bumps, and it's just like it totally doesn't.
it's so
But
bad. Yeah,
everyone's just feeling it.
I know, dude. That's like fucking like if you're aux anywhere at like a party or like fucking pregame or some shit in the beginning of the night, everyone's always like, "Yo, you can play this," which fucking if I don't know you, dude, like shut the fuck up. Like let me play
Yeah, that
whatever
is a
the fuck I
weird
want to
move
play.
if you don't know who it is, and they're just like they have like, and it's always like 5 songs that you don't know,
Yeah,
and it's like if these blow, then I look like I suck at
yeah.
DJing.
And so like even like sometimes people play this song, and you're like, dude, like I'm playing fucking Migos right now, and you're telling me to play fucking Toby Keith. Like I'm not fucking doing
Right.
that, dude.
Not to mention we've been pre-gaming for 5 minutes, so everyone's gonna fall asleep.
Yeah. So then like eventually, dude, once everyone gets hammered, like you could literally play fucking like fucking like Timmy Turner theme song, dude, and like everyone would be like, yeah, like it would be a vibe. But yeah, dude, people who fucking take aux, bro, at like, especially if it's your speaker, your phone, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That is one of my huge fucking peeves.
You just got to break through that wave. Once everybody's kind of riding, you're
Vibing,
good to
yeah,
go. But it's that crucial moment. It's like when you're inviting people to a pregame, you got
yeah,
to kind of tee it out. So it's like because people are going to show up late.
right,
Girls are going to show up however late. Those couple of guys that always fucking show up an
right,
hour and a half late. And you can't have each party show up separately because then they'll look around and be like, this is lame, bounce. And
yeah.
it's more so in college than it is nowadays because you're like you actually have friends
It's
with
like
these
your
people and
boys,
it's not
yeah,
it's not really, like that. But you got to time it out to where it's like, okay, everyone shows up at the same time or else people are going to leave. And then it's just you
yeah,
perpetually have a shitty ass pregame.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Or you got, if you got like it's always funny when you got like your friends in town or like family. Like when my cousin came, and I was like, dude, this guy, like you're always worried, like, is this guy gonna vibe with everybody or whatever? Like, and like they always everybody do like alcohol, unless you're like a fucking dick. Like, usually alcohol makes everyone vibe together.
Yeah, it is true. Whenever you have like your cousin boy back home or whatever, like somebody that you've gotten so used to, like whatever, everyone has their thing. Like
Yeah,
everyone's like weird in this way, annoying. It's
right,
literally
right, right,
everybody
right.
across the board. And it's just like then you start like when they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm on the flight." You're like start thinking about them, and you're just like, "How do I prep the boys or
Yeah, I
the
know,
girl or
dude.
whatever?
Yeah,
How do I tell them like, hey, get past this, and I promise you they're the same." It's so like
yeah.
it's so mapped out just to make sure. And the worst would stay fuck knock on wood. Haven't had any boys come visit, and it's like, dude, that kid sucks. Because I don't know how that would work, like how
Oh
that
yeah,
conversation
dude.
would work.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had that situation happen either. Just kind of like, just pretty much just like vibe out. Everyone's just cool. I mean, if you don't like them, just don't hang around them. But I haven't had that many scenarios. There's been a lot of like people that have joined a group that I've been in, or like our group, for example, where I'm like, that fuck that kid, like he sucks.
Right. Well, 100%. But yeah, and I mean that's like you. As soon as they jump in, you get you can cut them off. But yeah,
Yeah,
it would be tough to just be like, yeah, it's my best friend growing up, and everyone's like, yeah, he's
yeah,
kind of fucking whack.
yeah. That kid sucks.
That would be a terrible start to a weekend visit because then it's
Yeah,
just like you know that your boy is uncomfortable because obviously everyone's not about it, and then they
yeah,
have to hang out with them because you said like you're hanging out with them.
yeah. Exactly. And then you end up like you probably end up being like fucking like shit, dude. Like when is this guy leaving, bro? Like I just want to get back to my fucking boys here.
Yeah, to the boys. That's the crazy part about like moving around a good bit. Like you've moved
Yeah,
around a ton. Fucking I have too. Pretty much, I guess most of our squad's not from here, but yeah, having people from out of town, you do have to worry about that. if you're, born and raised same spot, it's like you never really have like that
Yeah,
moment of just
dude.
like
Yeah.
that like breaking point.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and you gotta like, it's almost like you're too like comfortable almost. Like I know, like once
Right.
you,
No, exactly. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
but once you get a good squad, I'm not saying like you have to fucking dip and leave them, but like like don't have the same fucking best friend or friends you've had since you were like 2. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And I think that's what helped. Like that's what I don't want to say. I feel like more people are kind of branching out than maybe in decades past. But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Having like a best friend from high school and then having a best friend from college and then
Right.
post
Right.
grad, it's like that opens the door for so many other things. Like it helps
Yeah.
you have so many groups, especially if you're traveling, if you go to different places, different
Yeah.
states, which I would recommend go to as many fucking states, live in as many places as possible. If you have that, like if you have those anchors, like they'll still be your best friend forever from
Yeah.
high school
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you get to show them your world and then they have their
Right.
own world. Like it's just if you lock it down too tight, I think you're just cutting shit off, cutting experiences off way too hard.
Yeah. Networking too. Like I mean, even like if you just say like fuck, let's say like you go, dude, let's go to Salt Lake City this summer. Someone could be like, yo, dude, like my boy lives out there. Like we may not be able to stay with him, but like he knows the spots. We could just bounce around with him, and like he's got friends, so make it more fun. Things like that,
Right.
dude. Just like being it, you'll be able to experience places as a local more when like that type of scenario,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
dope.
Get out and talk to, I mean, everybody. It's sick. It's that moment too, exactly. Where it's just like, oh yeah, my boy's from New Orleans. He'll show you all the cool spots. Or,
Yeah.
you got a place to crash in Atlanta or whatever. Like it'll happen quite a bit as soon as you start
Yeah.
talking to anybody and everybody. And then obviously,
Right.
cut out the people you don't fuck with. But having those, I mean, that's the reason you go to these bigger colleges or
Yeah.
talk to people or anything, or move to a city you've never been to and just start talking to people. It's just those cool moments of like, oh, I didn't know I'd be, crashing in Atlanta, going to,
Right.
Magic City with this kid I just met 2 minutes ago, and he's a homie, and now we're friends for, the next
Right.
10
Right.
years.
Right. That's always the best when your boys become boys.
Oh, dude, that's
Like,
the
oh, finally.
greatest feeling
Yeah.
on earth. The best is when they if they text. I mean, it would only really apply for if they live in the same area. But
Right.
if you bring people together, then they start texting and making
Right.
that's the best
Yeah.
shit ever.
Yeah. That shit is fire. And plus, like when you see them, like let's say my college buddies came down or whatever, just like getting fucked up with them is like, dude, like pure like euphoria almost because you haven't been with them in so long. You're just like, dude, bro, I love you, man. Like it's
Yeah,
been so
yeah.
long.
It's a good night when the "I love you" mans come out
Yeah,
at
I
fucking
know.
4 in the morning, and you're
I
just
know.
like, "No, stop. No, no,
Yeah,
listen. Like, you're
yeah,
my brother."
yeah, yeah, dude, listen, dude. Just like,
I know I've said it before, but I mean it.
yeah, I know that shit's always fun. Just like saying that shit is, and then you wake up and you're like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Still
your back to
boys.
it's
Yeah,
just guys being dudes, man.
yeah, just guys being dudes, bro. No, nothing weird there.
Nothing weird at all. Nothing weird at all. All right. Well, I think that is gonna wrap it up. We're about to watch the Celtics game, and we'll be back here next week, next Wednesday on Spotify, YouTube. Go check out the YouTube video version of it. Just search "Idols to Rivals," you'll find it. We just started that back up, and I think it's a lot of fun. You can see our beautiful faces. We got to get
Mm,
some fucking backgrounds or some shit.
our mugs. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, our beautiful mugs. But yeah, appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you follow, share. Sharing is the biggest thing. If you can, repost it on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, what have you, really helps out. Really helps it grow. But it's been fun, and me and Luciano here. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, see y'all.